always wanted to race. I kind of helped them. They found me this car, and it was a real pile of crap. But I bought it anyway, and we worked on it. Didn't have a garage. We had to pull the truck up and pull a tarp off the hood of the truck over the car to work on it. And we raced it probably 5 times and got in a wreck with it. The throttle stuck, and I went off 1 and 2 when the hole was really deep. Off the end, had plastic kill switches, and I went to shut it off, and the switch broke, and the motor stayed running. I couldn't even afford to think about racing, let alone race.
I remember the first time he brought his first race car home. He was proud. He's like a proud papa of it. We went up and looked at it, and he was on his way.
In 2003, we won our first track championship. And then after that, I was like, well, I didn't know really what's left to do. I couldn't really afford to move up. Stock car hadn't come along yet at Burlington, and I didn't really want a modified, so took some time off and started a band, and we played that for a couple of years, and that got old. I'm a racer.
Chris just sold his race car, got another race car, and he said he wanted to get back into it full time. So I said, do you really want to get in it full time? He said, yeah. I said, do you really want to get into it full time? He said, yeah. So we made a pact. Things came together. We got a brand new race, Larson, 2007 Larson Racing Specialist chassis. His mom came on board. She helped out a lot. It's just Chris and I, mostly. And we do have family and friends that do help sometimes. But it's a pretty special bond that Chris and I go through. I see him more than I see my wife, and vice versa.
My wife's name is Lindsay. I got Darren, he's 12, and Zach's 2. We've been married since December 23rd of 2006. He's
He's easygoing, laid back. He's a fierce competitor. He always likes to have a lot of fun. He's a family man, race car man second. He'd do anything for you. You call him 4 o'clock in the morning if you got a problem, he'll be there. A lot of people in town feel that way. He give you a shirt off his back.
She likes going to the races, but the long hours kind of wear on her quite a bit. I know it wears on my youngest son. My oldest son, he likes it because he's at the point now where he knows what's going on, and he's got jobs he does on the car when we go racing. And it's me and him this year really gotten a lot closer through racing, I'm sure, because we're together, and he's happy Pops is racing again. I know it kind of bummed him out, but also Darren, he's been around it. He's eat, sleep, every racing since he's been a young kid, and I know it. There was a lot of times when we should have been out playing catch, and I've been down here working on the car, but he's a good kid. He likes it.
Darren and I, first thing Darren does is put down the ramps on the car. I go and get the winch controller. We unload the car. There's certain jobs that Darren and I do together, and a lot of times I don't even have to tell him, or he don't even have to say anything to me. We know what each other's thinking.
I do heating and air conditioning and refrigeration. I'm on call every 3rd week, which kind of puts a damper on racing, but the guys are pretty good about helping me out with that. I just go around from place to place fixing whatever they need me to fix.
But if there's anything that I can do to make extra money, Chris and I do side jobs in the winter. We do anything from putting in gas line to running furnace and air conditioning side jobs to put money in the bank to race.
IMCA stock car is great just because everybody's got the same set of rules. It's cut and dried no matter where you race at. I mean, there's no question. If it isn't by what that book tells you they give you every year, then don't do it. If we want to go travel to Texas or Nebraska and run IMCA show, we know we ain't gonna have to change tires and carburetors and this and that. It's just, that's the rule. The carburetor helps rope it down some. We run a 350 CFM Holly. That kind of helps keep it down some, but the claim is what, the claim, it really stinks because it's kind of a catch-22. If you got a racing against a guy that's got, you know, rakes in $150,000 a year, needs to be running late model, it's a good thing. But if you're a guy like, you know, me and Chad that we do side jobs all the time to keep the car rolling and keep good stuff in it. I mean, and if it wasn't for Olsen brothers that's been on board with me forever, we wouldn't have nothing.
Hours we work in the shop, Monday through Thursday, is we usually anywhere from 3 to 4 hours a night. So we average probably about anywhere from 15 to 20 hours a work week. Some weeks it's less if nothing gets tore up. That'd be probably about a 10-hour work week. We've tore up before at the racetrack, drove home, tore the car apart. One time when we ripped the rear end out of it, we stayed up all night, worked till 4 o'clock in the morning, got in the truck, drove 4 hours, met the manufacturer at the shop at 8, left there at 10, drove another 4 hours home, got home at 2, put 2 hours worth of work into it, loaded the car and went racing. So you got to be dedicated if you're going to run at the front, so that's what we're trying to do. At the beginning of the year, we got the car. It was just a rolling chassis. We put it together. First night out, we lost by a half a fender. We got second. I thought, all right, here we go, boys. We're gonna have a good year. Second night out, we did all right. Third night out, the start of the feature, going into turn 3. We was running 6th, went to 3rd. All of a sudden, he got good side bite, and then he launched over a mining tire, rolled over about 4 or 5 times. That was a pretty low point. We had to work on it all week.
Usually the car will drift a little bit coming out and it's stuck. Then I got up on that berm and I seen the tire coming. I thought I was just gonna hit the tire and move it out of the way, and it was like hitting a launch pad. And we got it all put back together on Wednesday and tried scaling it. We couldn't get the scale out or measure the ride heights up right. So then I thought the frame was bent. So I know we spent $100 in gas probably going back and forth taking it to the frame machine until we got the scale out right. It's bent, but it works. After the first night out, I was pretty intimidated. I didn't know myself what was going to happen, what my reactions was going to be like. I went out and won the heat race. Of course, the feature got rained out that night. First time at Donaldson was really, I remember going in that corner and seeing that tire. It made me nervous, but now I don't even think about it. I've watched it about 3 times, that wreck 3 times, and that's enough for me. I got to live it. Dirt track racing is the greatest thing there is in the world, I think. It takes a lot to be competitive. Usually when we go racing at other places, we get kind of spoiled at Burlington. As far as the quality of the cars and all that, you kind of tell the difference. I mean, they all run good and all that, but the way the cars are put together and this and that is, Burlington's a tough place to win at, I think. If you can win at Burlington, you can go just about anywhere and compete. It is the greatest place in the world. I mean, I wish I could race there 2 or 3 nights a week. It's one of the nicest facilities we've been at.